Hello, my name is Adam. Welcome to English Daily Progress. Today, I want to tell you a story. Actually, two stories. About two people who wanted to learn English. One person had everything: money, internet, time, books, courses, but failed. The other person had nothing. No money, no internet, barely any electricity, but succeeded. Why? Because learning English is not about resources. It is about method. You can have all the money in the world, all the best courses, all the time, but if your method is wrong, you will fail. Or you can have nothing, just determination and the right method, and you will succeed. Today, you will meet Zeynep from Istanbul and Amir from Afghanistan. Two different worlds, two different approaches, one lesson. Let's begin.
Zeynep was 28 years old. She lived in Istanbul, Turkey. She worked in an office, marketing department. Good job, decent salary. She lived in a nice apartment. She had a smartphone, a laptop, fast internet. She was educated. She went to university. She studied for 4 years. Her life was comfortable. But Zeynep had a problem. She could not speak English. Well, she knew some English. She studied English in school for 8 years, in middle school and high school. Then 2 more years in university, 10 years total. She knew grammar rules. She knew hundreds of words. She could read simple texts. She could understand written English okay. But she could not speak. When someone spoke to her in English, she froze. Her mind went blank. She knew the words, but they would not come out. And this was a big problem, because her company wanted to expand internationally. They needed employees who could speak English. There was a promotion available, a better position, better salary, but it required English. Zeynep wanted that promotion, so she decided to study English seriously. She bought books, grammar books, vocabulary books. She downloaded apps, Duolingo, Babbel, Memrise. She bought an online course, an expensive one, $300. She made a plan. Every day after work, she would study for 2 hours. She was motivated. She was determined. This time, she would learn. On the other side of the world, there was a young man named Amir. He was 19 years old. He lived in Afghanistan, in a small city called Mazar-i-Sharif. His life was very different from Zeynep's. Amir's family was poor, very poor. His father sold vegetables in the market. His mother stayed home and took care of the younger children. Amir had 5 brothers and sisters. They lived in a small house, 2 rooms for 7 people. They had electricity, but not always. Sometimes the power was cut for hours, sometimes for days. They did not have internet at home. Too expensive. Amir had a phone, but it was old. A cheap smartphone, cracked screen, slow. He did not go to university. His family could not afford it. He finished high school. That was all. Now he needed to work, to help his family. But there were no good jobs. The country was unstable. The economy was bad. Young men like Amir had few options. But Amir had heard something. If you speak English, you can find work. As a translator, for international organizations, for NGOs, for foreign businesses. These jobs paid well, much better than selling vegetables. If Amir could learn English, he could change his life. He could help his family, maybe even leave Afghanistan one day. So Amir decided to learn English. But he had a problem. He had no money for courses, no money for books, No internet, no teacher, nothing. Just determination and an old phone. Zainab started her study plan with enthusiasm. Every evening after work, she sat at her desk. She opened her grammar book. Present simple, present continuous, past simple, present perfect. She studied the rules. She did the exercises. Fill in the blanks, choose the correct answer. She memorized irregular verbs. Go, went, gone. Eat, ate, eaten. See, saw, seen. She made lists of vocabulary, words grouped by topic, food words, weather words, business words. She wrote them in a notebook. She tried to memorize them. Apple, banana, orange, grape, watermelon. She spent hours on this. Then she opened her app, Duolingo. She did her daily lesson. Translate this sentence. The cat drinks milk. The boy eats bread. Correct. You earn 10 points. Good job. She felt productive. She was studying. She was working hard. 2 hours every day. After 3 months, Zainab looked at her progress. She knew more grammar rules. She knew more words. But when she tried to speak, nothing changed. She still could not speak. She still froze. The words still would not come. She was frustrated. Why? I am studying so hard. Why am I not improving? Maybe I need a better course. Maybe I need a private teacher. So she spent more money. She hired an online tutor. $20 per hour, twice a week. The tutor was nice, but the lessons were the same. Grammar explanations, vocabulary lists, exercises. After 6 months, Zainab was exhausted and disappointed. She had spent hundreds of dollars. She had studied for hundreds of hours, but she still could not speak English fluently. Something was wrong, but she did not know what. Amir started his English journey differently. He had no money, so he had to be creative. He remembered something his cousin told him. His cousin had learned English and now worked as a translator. He said, "Do not study English. Live with English." Amir did not understand at first, but his cousin explained. When you were a baby, did you study your language? No. Did you memorize grammar rules? No. Did you memorize word lists? No. So how did you learn? You listened. Every day, all day, you heard people speaking. Your parents, your family, everyone. You listened for months. Then slowly, you started to understand. Then you started to speak. Small words at first, then sentences. You learned by living with the language, not by studying it. English is the same. Amir thought about this. It made sense. But how could he live with English? He lived in Afghanistan. Everyone spoke Dari and Pashto. His cousin said, "Bring English into your life. Every day. Listen, listen, listen." So Amir made a plan that cost 0 money. Step 1. He found a radio station that broadcast in English, BBC World Service. It was free. He could listen on his old phone, even without internet, just radio waves. Every morning while getting dressed, he listened. He did not understand much at first, maybe 10%, but he listened anyway. Every day, 30 minutes in the morning. Step 2. He found free English content on YouTube. When he could access internet, he downloaded videos. He went to a cafe that had Wi-Fi. He bought 1 tea, 5 Afghanis, about 5 cents. He sat for an hour. He downloaded as many English videos as his phone could hold. Simple videos, English learning channels, BBC Learning English, Learn English with TV series, Easy English. Then, at home, he watched these videos over and over. Even when the electricity was cut, his phone had battery for a few hours. He watched in the dark. Step 3.
He started speaking to himself. Yes, to himself, out loud, in English. Every day, he described his day. I wake up at 6 a.m., I wash my face, I drink tea, I go to the market. At first, it felt stupid. He felt embarrassed, but no one was listening, so he continued. Step 4. He copied native speakers. He called it shadowing. He would play a video, listen to a sentence, pause, repeat the sentence exactly, trying to copy the accent, the rhythm, the intonation, over and over. Hello, my name is Amir. Hello, my name is Amir. Hello, my name is Amir. Until it sounded natural. Step 5. He practiced with real people. Whenever he saw a foreigner in the city, he approached them. Excuse me, can I practice English with you? Most people said yes. They talked for 5 minutes. Amir made mistakes, many mistakes, but he did not care. He learned from each conversation. This was Amir's method. No courses, no books, no apps, just listening, repeating, and speaking every single day. For free.
After 6 months, let us compare. Zainab had studied for 6 months. She had spent over $1,000. Books, apps, courses, tutors. She had spent over 300 hours studying. She knew many grammar rules. She knew many words. But when she tried to have a conversation, she struggled. She thought too much. She translated in her head. She worried about making mistakes. She spoke slowly and uncomfortably. She was frustrated and disappointed. Amir had also been learning for 6 months. He had spent maybe $50 total on tea at cafes for Wi-Fi, on a small speaker to play audio louder. That was it. He had spent over 300 hours too, but differently. Listening, watching, repeating, speaking. And the result? Amir could have a conversation. Not perfectly. He made mistakes. His grammar was not perfect, but he could communicate. He could express his ideas. He could understand people. He was functional. Why the difference? Because Zainab studied about English. Amir practiced English. Zainab learned rules. Amir learned communication. Zainab was passive. Amir was active. This is the secret. One day, Zainab was scrolling through social media. She saw a video. It was about a young Afghan man who learned English with no resources. She clicked on it. It was Amir's story. Someone had interviewed him. They asked, "How did you learn English with no money?" Amir explained his method. Radio, YouTube videos, shadowing, speaking practice. He said something that shocked Zainab. "I did not study English. I acquired it. Like a child acquires their first language. Children do not study. They absorb. They listen for thousands of hours. Then they speak. That is what I did." Zainab sat there staring at her screen. This young man in Afghanistan, with nothing, no money, no resources, no comfort. He learned English better than her, and she had everything. What was she doing wrong? She looked at her grammar books, her vocabulary lists, her expensive course, and she understood. She was approaching it all wrong. She was treating English like a subject to study, like math or history. But language is not a subject. Language is a skill, like swimming. You do not learn to swim by reading books about swimming. You learn by getting in the water. The same with English. You do not learn by studying rules. You learn by using it, hearing it, speaking it, living with it. Zainab made a decision. She would change her method completely. She would follow Amir's approach, but adapted to her resources. Zeynep researched more. She found that what Amir was doing had a name: natural language acquisition. It was based on research by a linguist named Stephen Krashen. He said the best way to learn a language is through comprehensible input. Input means listening and reading. Comprehensible means you can understand most of it, not all of it, maybe 70 to 80%. If you understand 70%, you can guess the other 30% from context. And that is how you learn. Naturally, without studying. Zeynep learned about 7 key strategies, the same ones Amir had discovered on his own. Strategy 1. Input flood. Surround yourself with English. Listen to it as much as possible. Zeynep started listening to English podcasts during her commute, during lunch, while cooking dinner. Even if she was not paying full attention, the English was entering her brain. Her brain was getting used to the sounds, the patterns, the rhythm. Amir did this with radio. Zeynep did it with podcasts. Same principle. Strategy 2. Comprehensible input. Listen to things at your level. Not too easy, not too hard. Just right, where you understand most, but not all. Zeynep stopped watching advanced TED Talks. She started watching intermediate English learning videos, shows designed for learners, like English learning YouTube channels. Amir did the same. He chose simple content, news for learners, easy conversations, not complex lectures. Strategy 3. Active listening. Do not just hear English in the background. Actually listen. Focus on it. Try to understand. Zeynep set aside 30 minutes every day. No phone, no distractions. Just listening actively to one podcast or video. Really trying to understand every word. Amir did this too. Even in his difficult conditions, he focused. Strategy 4. Shadowing. Listen to native speakers. Repeat exactly what they say. Copy their pronunciation, their intonation, their speed. Zeynep started doing this. She would play a short video clip, 2 or 3 sentences. Pause, repeat, trying to sound exactly like the speaker. At first, it felt weird, but after a few weeks, her pronunciation improved dramatically. Amir had discovered this on his own. It was his secret weapon. Strategy 5. Speaking practice without fear. Speak every day. Do not wait until you are perfect. You will never be perfect. Speak now. Make mistakes. Learn from them. Zeynep joined a language exchange app. She found partners who wanted to learn Turkish. She taught them Turkish. They taught her English. Free. She spoke 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time. She made mistakes, but she did not care anymore. Each mistake was a lesson. Amir did not have language exchange apps, but he found tourists. He found foreigners. He practiced with anyone who would talk to him. Same strategy, different execution. Strategy 6. No grammar study. This was hard for Zeynep. She loved grammar rules, but she stopped. She stopped studying grammar books. She stopped doing grammar exercises. Instead, she learned grammar naturally, through hearing it used correctly, thousands of times, just like children do. Children never study grammar, but they speak correctly, because they hear correct grammar thousands of times. The brain learns the patterns automatically. Zeynep trusted this, and it worked. Amir never had grammar books, so he learned this way from the beginning. Strategy 7. Daily consistency. This was the most important. Every single day. Even if just 15 minutes. Every day. No breaks, no weekends off.
No, I am too tired today. Every day. Zainab committed. Every single day. At least 30 minutes. Usually 1 hour. Listening, shadowing, speaking. Amir did the same. In his difficult conditions, he never skipped a day. Even when there was no electricity, he listened to his downloaded videos, he spoke to himself, he practiced. These 7 strategies, this was the method.
3 months after changing her method, Zainab noticed something. She was watching an English show without subtitles, and she understood it. Not every single word, but she understood the story. She understood what was happening. She was not translating in her head. She was just understanding, directly, in English. This had never happened before. She was shocked, happy, excited. It was working. Another month passed. Zainab was having a conversation with her language exchange partner. They were talking about movies, and suddenly, Zainab realized something. She was not thinking about grammar. She was not searching for words. She was just talking, naturally. The words were flowing. She was expressing her ideas easily. This was the breakthrough she had been waiting for. 5 months earlier, she could barely speak. Now she was having fluent conversations. What changed? Not her intelligence. Not her ability, just her method.
1 year after Zainab changed her method, she took the promotion interview. The interview was in English with the international director. She was nervous, but she did not freeze. She answered questions. She asked questions. She had a real conversation. The director was impressed. A week later, she got the news. She got the promotion. Because of her English. She was proud, not just of the promotion, but of herself. She had done it. She had learned English the right way. Meanwhile, Amir's life had also changed. After 1 year of consistent practice, he was nearly fluent. He applied for a job as a translator with an international NGO. They tested his English. He passed. They hired him. His salary was 10 times what his father made. He could help his family, pay for his sisters to go to school, fix their house. He was 20 years old, and he had changed his life. With no money, no resources, just the right method and determination.
Let us compare their journeys. Zainab spent $1,000+. Amir spent less than $50. Zainab had internet, laptop, comfortable home. Amir had an old phone, unstable electricity, no internet at home. Zainab had 10 years of school English education. Amir had never studied English before. But in 1 year, both reached fluency. Why? Because they used the same method. Input, practice, consistency. Not studying about English, but acquiring English. The lesson is clear. Money does not matter. Resources do not matter. Comfort does not matter. What matters is method. If your method is wrong, even with everything, you will fail. If your method is right, even with nothing, you will succeed.
Why does this method work? Because it is how humans are designed to learn language. Your brain has a language acquisition device. Every human has it. This is how you learned your first language. You did not study it. You acquired it by hearing it thousands of hours, by using it, by making mistakes and correcting them. A baby hears their language for about 1 year before speaking. 1 year, thousands of hours of input. Then they start speaking. Small words, then sentences. They make mistakes, lots of mistakes, but slowly they improve.
By age 5, they are fluent, without studying grammar, without vocabulary lists, without courses, just natural acquisition. English is the same. If you want to learn English, do what babies do. Listen a lot, speak without fear, make mistakes, correct them, repeat. This is the natural way. This is the right way.
After hearing Zainab and Amir's stories, what excuses do you have left? I do not have money? Amir had no money. He used free resources, radio, YouTube, speaking to himself, zero cost. I do not have internet? Amir barely had internet. He downloaded content when he could. He used offline methods. I do not have time? Both Zainab and Amir worked. They found 30 minutes to 1 hour per day. You can too. I am too old? Zainab was 28. Many people learn languages at 40, 50, 60. Age is not the problem. I am not smart enough. Amir did not even finish university. Zainab was average in school. Intelligence is not the problem. I tried and failed before. Zainab studied for 10 years and failed because she used the wrong method. Then she changed the method and succeeded. Every excuse is gone. The only question is, will you try the right method, or will you keep using the wrong method and complaining?
This is the story of Zainab and Amr. Two people, two different worlds. One method, one success. My name is Adam, and I told you this story because I want you to understand something. You can learn English. Yes, you. No matter where you are, no matter what resources you have, no matter how many times you tried and failed, you can learn English. But you need to use the right method. Stop studying grammar books. Stop memorizing word lists. Stop doing pointless exercises. Start listening to English every day. Start speaking without fear. Start surrounding yourself with the language. Acquire it. Do not study it. Here is what you should do starting today. Step 1. Find English content you can understand 70 to 80%. Podcasts, YouTube videos, TV shows. Step 2. Listen to this content every day, at least 30 minutes, more if possible.
Step 3. Practice shadowing. Repeat what you hear. Copy the pronunciation. Step 4. Speak. To yourself, to language partners, to anyone. Do not wait. Do not worry about mistakes. Speak now. Step 5. Do this every single day. No breaks. Consistency is everything. If you do this for 1 year, you will be fluent. I promise. Not because I am special, not because you are special, but because this is how language acquisition works. This is how your brain works. Trust the process. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to English Daily Progress for more lessons on learning English the right way. Leave a comment and tell me, what is your biggest challenge in learning English? What excuse have you been using? Are you ready to change your method? I read every comment. And remember, if Amir can do it with nothing, you can do it with what you have. No more excuses. Start today. See you in the next video. This is Autumn, signing off.